I threw in a bonus part. You ready? This is the negotiating and locking my rate part. That is so powerful that I wanted to make this a bonus piece. So follow me. When you are finding the right house and you're about to make an offer with your realtor, this is where it can get a little wild. So I want you to understand what happens here. Your real estate agent's going to go over some things with you, probably check with your lender to make sure you're good for the payment, which you definitely need to do. Before you write an offer on a house, I always recommend this. Have you or your real estate agent send the exact house with the exact price so they can pull up the taxes and run you a lifetime payment quote that day with the right rate, with the right taxes, with the right insurance, so you know exactly what your payment's going to be before you write an offer on that exact house. So key. Secondly, closing costs and numbers that I'm going to need down. Make sure you run through those with your lender. Then this is where you're going to get into negotiating. This is where you can actually negotiate with your realtor and put it on the contract, asking the seller for any special conditions. You can put in there where you want the seller to maybe pay your closing costs if you don't have those. Also to maybe fix anything on the house or certain close dates, special requests and conditions you'll be going over with your realtor. Don't miss this. This is key. And a lot of people want to know, how much do closing costs run? I'll tell you right now, it's hard to give you a set number because insurance can totally swing this number, size of the loan and purchase price, state to state with different fees. Check with your lender on the amount of closing costs. A lot of real estate agents from time to time have tried to use a rule of thumb of 3%. Kind of true, but I've seen big swings, so don't go off of that. Ask your lender specifically so you can get it right from the horse's mouth. Now, you're going to be negotiating and sending on an offer. If the seller counters back, they might have their own conditions to you. This is when you're going to go back and forth with your realtor to see if you want to accept the conditions from the seller. Now, there might be a possibility of saying, well, you know, we don't want you to be able to back out if the inspection doesn't go good or if the house doesn't appraise. Be very careful here. You know, if you want the house no matter what and have tons of money in the bank, I mean, know what you're getting into then. I just would never buy a house without getting a home inspection because I want to know what I'm buying. However, this is where the negotiations could get a little crazy. Sometimes they're smooth. Now, let's flip over to locking your rate as well. A lot of people think at pre-approval time, this is when your rate's done and fixed and locked in. It's not. Your rate doesn't get locked in until you have the house under contract and there's a property address. A lot of people don't know that your interest rate is tied to the address of the home. That's when a lender can lock in the rate because they type in the address, they hit lock, and your rate locks the day you get the contract to your lender. So this is super key. If you get pre-approved a month in, or let's say you get approved now, but then you don't find a house for a month later, your interest rate could be different. So when you're getting pre-approved, you're going to get about average of what rates are at. Talk to your lender about it. Hey, what's my rate, or what are rates going to be? Your good lender will say, well, here's what it is today, but here's what we're thinking rates might do in the next month. So let me know when you find a house, because your rate won't be necessarily fixed in. That's also power to getting that payment quote right when you make an offer, okay? And finally, this art of negotiation is so important why you have a good realtor and a good lender, so they're communicating, making sure they don't miss anything, because you're going to be signing things that you probably don't know what you're signing, but make sure your realtor and lender walk you through it. So you're negotiating, getting the right rate, getting the right loan, and getting the right offer on a house that you feel comfortable with. Hope this helps.